is Italian director Dino De Laurentiis. Over the past 4 decades, he has produced over 600 movies, from the Oscar-winning La Strada in the 50s to the science fiction story Dune in the 80s. De Laurentiis has also introduced such stars as Sophia Loren, Gina Lollobrigida, and King Kong.
I'd want to see the back of this place.
For years, he produced expensive spectacles like The Bible, War and Peace, and Barabbas with Anthony Quinn. But a crisis in the Italian film industry and the failure of these epics to make money forced him to move to the United States in the 70s. First to New York and then Hollywood, where he made a number of commercially successful films like Serpico with Al Pacino and Death Wish with the one and only Charles Bronson. And Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the screen version of the best-selling novel Ragtime was an ambitious fumble and one of the few Hollywood films in which De Laurentiis lost money.
Where? Sir? Where?
Another ambitious production was the remake of Mutiny on the Bounty with Australian Mel Gibson. He was cast as Fletcher Christian.
Think of my wife. I am in hell! Hell, sir! Why are you being so damned reasonable now?
The latest De Laurentiis production is a mystery thriller. It's called Blue Velvet.
Joining me from Montreal is Dino De Laurentiis. How do you choose what movie you're going to do? What will make a good story? What will be a success?
You know, the success of any movie is a combination of many things put together. It's not so simple one, because the critics usually ask any producer to do artistic movie. Valerie, how many great directors are in the world? 10? 12? And you cannot do, all the industry do 10 or 12 picture years. All my life what I did. From one end I did La Strada with Federico Fellini, fantastic artistic movie. From the other hand, simultaneously I did War and Peace with King Vidor. In America I did Serpico and Mandingo. One picture important artistic, another picture for the audience. Next, I did the 3 Days of Condor and Death Wish. And then I did the King Kong and Ragtime. You know, you cannot do all-time artistic important movie, especially when you need to do, like we do today, between 12 and 15 pictures every year. You do Blue Velvet, great director like David Lynch. You do Crime of Heart, a great director with Bruce Beresford, with 3 major stars, Jessica Lange, Diana Keaton, Sissy Spacek. But simultaneously we do Taipan at the sequel of King Kong.
Now, I think of you, and I think many people think of you as Mr. Big in the movies, a mogul who's on the phone smoking a cigar. You know, my girl will call, your girl will take a lunch. I mean, do you really live like that?
Well, I can smoke cigar, yes. I can talk at the telephone, yes. But in making movies is different to smoking cigar and talk at the telephone. You have to deal with the people like artistic people. When I deal with the people like Blue Velvet, what I do.
What's the big thrill in all of this for you? Is it when you actually put a deal together, or was it when you're sitting in a darkened room watching your movie flickering up on the screen?
No, my best moment when the picture born. When I talk with David Lynch, I say, what do you want to do, Blue Velvet? Okay, do it. And do it in your way, completely freedom. Because when you deal with director like David Lynch or Bruce Beresford or Federico Fellini or whatever, you must give them completely freedom to do whatever they want. If not, no reason to choose people like David Lynch or Bruce Beresford. My best moment is when the picture is born. When I say, go ahead, let's do it as a movie.
But what about when you actually see it on the screen?
Oh, when you see in the screening, sometimes you have a surprise. Sometimes you have a fantastic surprise, like I have with Blue Velvet and Crime of Heart. And some other time you have not too good surprise when you see a picture like Rodil or Maximum Overdrive. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready and not be upset because it's a life. Life is going to give you every time pleasure. So, you know.
Now, in 40 years, you've made over 600 movies. You were the kingpin of the Italian film industry, now a major figure in the American film industry. What haven't you done? What do you want to do next?
Well, Valerie, let me explain. Every human being has his own hobby. My hobby is to work. My hobby is making movie. I have to tell you two things. Number one, last month I became American, and I'm an American citizen now. And number two, you know, we work 8 days a week. Why? Because we start every morning, first meeting in my office, 7 o'clock in the morning. And we go home 8 o'clock, including Saturday. We work 8 days a week. Now, this is my hobby. Of course, at my age, I get retired tomorrow. I can live like a king in any place I want. But I don't want. I like to continue to do the impossible. Now, for instance, I created 1 year ago a new company called DAG. DAG, in February, Los Angeles Times say, DAG, De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, become instant major company. We have a distribution company all around the world. I've been in Australia last 2 weeks ago to create a new company, De Laurentiis Australia, for production, distribution, and the studio. If you ask me why I do it, the answer is very simple. I love to do it. And if you don't love to work in this industry, Valerie, you cannot do anything because it's tough.
How do you feel about your life's work, the films you've made that millions of people have seen? Do you think about the impact it has, or does Dino De Laurentiis just make deals?
Well, what I feel, Valerie, look, in the way I work from 7 o'clock in the morning and in the evening, I really have no time to realize what people say about me. I'm very happy with myself. I'm very, very happy what I do it, and I'm very happy to try to arrange something from somebody else's are impossible.
It's been great to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you to you, everybody.